Hello, everybody. Timothy Bailey here, and today we're going to continue with our look at poems. This is our second one. Poems are a good way to learn new vocabulary. They're fun to read. They're fun to work with another person, a teacher, on understanding the poems. And it's good for your spoken English. It's good for working on rhythm and stress as you read. We're going to begin by looking at the vocabulary. So the name of this poem is They Never Send Sam to the Store Anymore. And we're going to start because this one has some difficult vocabulary. And if you remember in the last video, I tried to separate the vocabulary into words that are helpful most places and words that maybe you just need to know for the poem that are not as helpful in the outside world, right? Not in the poem. So let's go ahead and start looking at our vocabulary. On this side, we have the important words. So, right, we know store. Here, grocery store, right? Groceries are the food and things we buy at the store for our house, right? So meat and vegetables and fruit and things like that. Okay, grocery store. Now, most grocery stores nowadays don't just sell groceries. They did in the past. So now we have larger stores such as Walmart and Giant Eagle and Myers that sell clothing and other things as well. Okay. Carton, carton. Pearl, pearl. So you can see over here we have our very useful words, and over here words that are really only useful for us to know in the poem, probably. Leopard, leopard. Lavender, lavender. This one's sort of in the middle, right? Between very useful and not useful. Bounce, bounce. Gossamer, gossamer. Carpet, carpet. Salmon, salmon. Notice here in English we do not say this L, right? So it sounds like the word without the L, right? Salmon, salmon. We do not say salmon, right? Salmon. Grackle, grackle. So let's look at the pictures that go with the word. So here is part of our grocery store. And you can see the lady shopping for, I can't really tell what they are, if they're cucumbers or what. They might be cucumbers. Anyway, she's shopping for vegetables, right? Here, okay, at the grocery store. Right? Now the things that we buy, the things that we take home, those are called our groceries. Right? Groceries, Groceries. And it used to be the person who worked there was called the grocer, but we don't use that word hardly at all anymore. Here's some eggs, right? This, the little box, the little tray that the eggs come in, this is called a carton. Now, a carton is a kind of box. There are different kinds of cartons. So eggs come in a carton, milk comes in a carton, cigarettes come in a carton, right? Different kinds of cartons, right? Another kind of special box is what a carton is. Here, inside this, right? This oyster, a kind of sea life, right? That we do eat, right? They make these, right? Which are called jewelry, which are called pearls. Pearls are a kind of jewelry. People turn them into necklaces or put them on rings, right? And real pearls, because there's not a lot and because it takes a while to find them, can be very expensive, right? A pearl. So this word, not super useful, but if you're looking at jewelry or you like jewelry, then it would be a good word for you to know. Pearl. The same way as this word. Not a useful everyday word, but if you're going to the zoo with your family, your children, or whoever, you might want to know. This is a leopard, right? A leopard. A leopard is one kind of wild cat, right? A big cat. Remember, all cats are related, so the big cat, the leopard, or the lion, or the tiger, right, are in the same family as the cat you might have in your house, right? But this guy we would see at the zoo, right? At the zoo. Now, lavender is a kind of flower, right? And it's this flower, this purple flower. And we took that to also mean a color. So, this kind of purple color. So, for example, if you go to a store like Home Depot or Lowe's to get some paint, imagine you want to paint your room or you want to paint your daughter's room, and she says purple. Well, you might see something that says purple, but you're going to see probably about 20 other kinds of purple, right? Because colors aren't just red or just blue or just purple. There are different shades, different kinds of that color. And one kind of purple is lavender from this plant, right? That color. Okay, so lavender. This guy is on a trampoline, right? As are these children standing around, right? We say bounce, right? He is bouncing. Bouncing is sort of like jumping, but the difference is when we jump from like a hard surface, like the ground. When we bounce, right, people usually bounce on something like a trampoline up and down. Now, when we have a basketball, we do bounce the basketball on the ground, right? So that is a little bit of a difference between when people bounce and when we bounce things. This here is a very old sort of word, gossamer, kind of a web, like a spider's web, right? Silken string connected between different things, right? Gossamer. Okay. So since this is useful for the poem really only, you can think of that when we get to that section in the poem. You can think of this. This here's a carpet, a very nice carpet. Right? Carpet is just the kind of material we put on the floor. It might be a small carpet that covers part of the floor, or it might be a carpet that covers the whole floor. Right? In the United States, many people, if not most people, like to have their house covered the floor in carpet almost everywhere. Usually the only rooms that are not are the kitchen and the bathrooms, but the bedrooms and the living room usually have carpet. Other times we might have a hard floor, like a hard wood floor, and we put a small sort of picture-like carpet on the floor to add some color and some patterns and details. Here we go. This is our salmon, right? So salmon is a kind of fish. Here it's cooked. It's been grilled and ready for us to eat, right? But salmon is a big sort of pinkish, reddish fish, right? They also eat salmon in sushi a lot. So if you like sushi, the Japanese food, right? They will often have salmon. And the last one, a grackle is a kind of bird, right? Kind of bird, right? One of a variety of black birds like crows. Crows are quite a bit larger, right? But this is a grackle. And again, like gossamer, important to know in the poem if you want to understand it, not important every day. Unless you see one outside your house, of course. All right, so let's continue with the poem then. They never send Sam to the store anymore. The day they sent Sam to the grocery store to purchase a carton of eggs, he brought back a pear with a pearl at its core and a leopard with lavender legs. He returned with an elephant small as a mouse, a baseball that bounces a mile, a little tame dragon that heats up the house, and a lantern that lights when they smile. Sam brought them a snowball that never feels cold, a gossamer carpet that flies, a salmon of silver, a grackle of gold, and an ermine with emerald eyes. They never send Sam to the store anymore, no matter how often he begs. For he brought back a dodo that danced on the floor, but he didn't bring home any eggs. Right, so you can see Sam went to the store, okay? Like our last poem, there was a narrator. This poem does not have a narrator. You don't see I, right? So someone is telling us about Sam, what he did and did not do, okay? But again, what is the title? Let's start there. Very good, the title, They Never Send Sam to the Store Anymore. And who is the author? Jack Prelutsky is the author, okay? So where did Sam go? Sam went to the store. Okay, you can see it in the title. Now, what kind of store? Did he go to the bookstore, the music store? He went to the grocery store, right? You can see it here, right? And why did Sam go to the grocery store? We can assume they, the people who sent Sam to the store, might be his parents, possibly. Why did they, whoever they are, send him to the grocery store? Very good. To purchase a carton of eggs. Remember our picture for the word carton, right? The special kind of box. So they sent Sam to purchase a box of eggs, a carton of eggs. And what is the problem? This poem has a particular problem. Well, he didn't buy the eggs. Very good. He came back, starting here, with all of this stuff. But he didn't bring home any eggs. So all kinds of things he brought, right? But not eggs. Not the thing that he was supposed to buy. Right? How many things did Sam buy? Well, let's look at them, and you can count them, right? So he brought back a pear with a pearl in its core. Now, when we look, right, one thing that causes students confusion is to separate out the items that are two different items and the items that go together. If we look at this line here, he brought back a pearl, or he brought back a pear with a pearl in its core, right? There's more than one thing, right? If we look at the nouns, there's the pear, there's the pearl, there's the core. So in this line, did he bring back three things, two things, one thing? How many things did he bring back? Well, part of it is you need to understand. So a core, right, is part of a pear or part of an apple. It's the middle part, the part we don't eat. So this is part of this. So now that leaves us with two things, a pear with a core and a pearl. Now, is the pearl a separate thing or is it part of the pear? Well, if we look, he brought back a pear with a pearl in its core. So the pearl is in the core. And we know, right, that the core is part of the pear. So this, then, is all one thing. A pear with a pearl in its core. And you can see that here with the article, right? So how many things did Sam buy? Right, go ahead and count them. There's one, the apple, or the pear with the pearl in its core. 1, 2, an elephant. 3, a baseball. 4, a dragon. 5. Count them and see how many you think he bought. How many things did he buy? Pause it, count them. Did you come up with 12? 12 is the right answer. He bought 12 things, but he did not buy eggs. I hope you enjoyed the poem. Read it out loud, practice it, and have fun. Bye-bye.